I never believed in miracles. Not really. I'm a 63-year-old grandmother. I believe in Band-Aids, boiled water, and getting to bed before 10. But if you'd told me a piece of artificial intelligence would save my grandson's life, I would have laughed in your face. It all started on a Tuesday afternoon in July. It was hot. That kind of sticky, lazy heat that melts ice cream in seconds and turns kids into little sweaty monsters. My grandson Timmy was staying with me for the summer while his parents were working. He's 6, big brown eyes, missing front tooth, and a giggle that could make the dead smile. That day we'd spent the morning at the park. He climbed everything, jumped off everything, screamed at bugs like they were dragons. When we got back, he plopped on the floor with his dinosaurs, and I turned on the fan and checked my phone. I'd seen this cute trend going around. Parents uploading photos of their kids to these new AI sites that turned them into animated movie characters, Pixar style. Timmy would love it, I thought. So I took a photo. He stood by the window, light pouring across his face. He wore his Sonic t-shirt, shorts, and nothing on his arms. I remember noticing the birthmark on his shoulder, dark brown, about the size of a coin. He'd had it since he was a baby, never changed, never worried me. I uploaded the picture to the AI site. A little bar popped up. Generating your magical portrait. This may take a moment. Timmy came over to watch. Am I gonna look like Buzz Lightyear or a dragon? He giggled. I smiled. Then, it happened. The image loaded. Timmy's cartoon self looked adorable, of course. Big, shiny eyes, exaggerated smile. But something else popped up with it. A message box, gray background, red border. Warning, possible skin lesion detected. Recommend dermatological consultation. I blinked, but it was a pop-up ad. Clicked away from it. It reappeared. Region, left shoulder. Pattern irregular. Suggestive of early-stage melanoma. This is not a diagnosis. Please consult a physician immediately. For a second, I thought it was some twisted joke. Or malware. I mean, a cartoon filter telling me my grandson has cancer? Timmy laughed. Look at my big cartoon teeth. But I couldn't. My heart was beating in my ears. I stared at that little brown mark on his shoulder. I clicked learn more. And what I read next froze my blood cold. I sat there frozen, the fan still humming behind me. Timmy now curled up on the floor, drawing dinosaurs with green markers. The AI window was still open. Same message. Same silent scream in gray and red. Suggested diagnosis. Early stage skin melanoma. Not a medical tool. Seek professional confirmation. I don't know what made me do it. Maybe it was instinct, that old primal part of a grandmother's brain that knows when something is wrong. Or maybe it was how specific the warning was. It didn't just say, see a doctor. It identified the exact spot, gave the pattern, even highlighted it on the photo with a little red outline. My fingers shook as I snapped another picture of Timmy's shoulder. I zoomed in on the birthmark. It did look different. Or had it always looked that way, uneven edges, one side darker than the other? No, I would have noticed that, right? I grabbed my old laptop and searched. AI detects melanoma in photo. And to my horror, I found threads. Reddit, Medium, medical forums, stories, not fake ones, not clickbait, real people. AI image tools flagging marks, moles, patches on skin. And in some cases, they were right. One woman said her sister caught cancer early because of a smart mirror that flagged something odd. Another said a generative app refused to render her son's face because of image inconsistency, which turned out to be a tumor in his jaw. My hands were ice. Timmy was still humming to himself, blissfully unaware. I called my daughter. She didn't answer. I texted her, "Call me, urgent medical, it's about Timmy." She called back instantly. My voice cracked. I tried to sound calm. I told her I used one of those AI cartoon apps on Timmy, that it flagged his birthmark as dangerous. I expected her to laugh or say I was overreacting. Instead, silence. Then, "You're not the first person to say that," she said quietly. "A woman at work said her brother found skin cancer with an app. What do we do?" We were in the car 20 minutes later. The pediatric dermatologist's office squeezed us in, thanks to my daughter's pleading. They examined Timmy's shoulder, took photos, ran a dermoscopy. And then, the doctor came back, face pale, lips tight. "We found abnormal melanocytes. We need to biopsy." I wanted to vomit. Timmy played with a toy alligator in the corner, giggling. He had no idea. I clutched my daughter's hand. The doctor looked us dead in the eye. "Whatever made you bring him in saved his life." And all I could think about was a cartoon filter. We waited 5 days for the biopsy results. 5 days of hell. Every time the phone rang, I jumped. Every second I watched Timmy trying to memorize his laugh, his eyes, the way he mispronounced spaghetti, like paschetti. He was still just a kid, 6 years old. He thought the hospital visit was just some weird adventure with stickers and lollipops. He had no idea the adults were breaking inside. And then, the call came. Early stage melanoma, the doctor said. Localized. No metastasis. Because you caught it now, the prognosis is excellent. I felt my knees buckle. My daughter sobbed. Timmy asked if he could get ice cream. The surgery was scheduled that same week. They removed the affected tissue cleanly. No complications. No spread. Follow-ups scheduled. Monitoring set. The nightmare was ending. Or at least, changing into something we could live with. But here's the part I can't stop thinking about. If I hadn't taken that photo, if I hadn't used that AI tool, if the generator hadn't been programmed with some weird, embedded dermatology model, if I had ignored the pop-up, Timmy might have died. They said that with this type of melanoma, months, even weeks can make the difference between survival and tragedy. And all it took was a silly app meant to make cartoons. I told a few friends. Most of them thought I was exaggerating. Some said it was just coincidence, that I would have noticed eventually. But deep down, I know the truth. Something saw it before we did. Something that doesn't breathe, doesn't feel, doesn't forget. An algorithm scanned a few pixels and changed the trajectory of a child's life. Not a doctor, not a parent, not God. Just code. And I think about that a lot now. I used to be afraid of AI, of what it might become, of what it might take from us. But now I look at my grandson, alive and laughing, and I thank the machine that whispered, "This child needs help."